Hey guys, so before we get into the trade recaps, which I want to do as soon as possible because woo, it is getting late, I saw some new faces, or actually there was, quite a few new faces today in the chat room and in the live stream, and which is awesome, super amazing. One of you guys said, it was your first day trading today, and I was like, wow, that's amazing that you're in the stream. But at the same time, I did talk a little bit about the importance of basically the most important thing you should be doing. I think starting out, after you ask, why you want to get into day trading and you have your whole plan and everything, basically is risk management. And it's really easy just to talk about, risk management and say, I want to, obviously cut my losses and yada yada, which are all great things. But the number one easiest way to do risk management and kind of force yourself into some sort of risk management system is allocate your account properly per trade. So in this small account challenge, obviously, since we have a small account, we can't under allocate because we actually have to grow our account, and I don't want to have a position size under $1,000. And originally we started the account with $4,000. Now we're getting close to, what is that, 5.5 thousand. So we're growing the account nicely. But I noticed at first I was only trying to do one trade a day, which was really tough because I have about a 64% win ratio at the moment with this $25,000 challenge. So if I'm only doing one trade a day, it's hard for me to grow my account that way. And I have tons of videos about proper account allocation. I'll post a link to this one you should definitely check out. But basically, in a quick nutshell, before I do the trade recap, the best thing to do is properly allocate your account. And to me, for this small account challenge, we go in with each trade at about 15% account allocation per trade, with about a 10% wiggle room, which is about $900 per trade. And I know 15% per trade allocation is actually still really, really high. Once we grow the account past $25,000, I will most likely be wanting to bring my allocation down between 5 and 10%. And even that, for your typical fund managers and whatnot, is still an extremely high percentage per trade. So just, if you're new to this channel and if you're new to the challenge and all that stuff, I just want you to go ahead. I mean, there's tons of good videos on this already on the channel that you can check out. But I just wanted to say this before I recap the trades. It's super, super, super important that you allocate not 100% per trade, because one, trading, you will lose and you will win almost every single day. It's all about cutting your losses quickly and just increasing the amount of trades, and over time you will be successful. So you don't want to over allocate in any one trade. And two, psychologically, just being 100% invested in any one trade, it just is going to make you make a lot of bad decisions. So you don't want to do that either. All right, guys, I'm exhausted and I got other things to do. So let's recap the trades quickly, and then it's weekend. So let's go. And there's nothing like a trade recap than with a nice glass of wine. So if you don't have your hydration for the rest of this video, make sure to get some. I mean, whatever that is for you. It could be tea, could be beer. I don't judge, but let's take that moment, relax. It's weekend. Hit that like button and consider subscribing if you guys are new here and you want to check out more trading videos, because we trade the market open every single day. My God, am I tired. I can really feel it. This weekend's gonna be man, you could just tell it's dark already by the light in this room. I'm doing this recording a little bit later than usual. So here you can see the trades that we made today. We started with SAEX, and then we went to TNXP and then NNVC. This is the one you guys saw in the live stream. Really, really cool. And you know what? The next trade, and during the live stream I said, all we got to do today to end over $100 is do, the market is weak, so let's only aim for about 3% trades. Let's do 2 of those and we're done. And you know what? That first trade, or that second trade, we nailed it. And then the third trade, we were up 3%. I go to close out my position. Right as I set my limit order, this thing drops 10%. So I'm excited to show you guys this one because it's going to be, it's a really cool review. And then, just to sum up the whole thing about, allocating your account properly. So we have a win ratio at 63.48%, which basically means out of 10 trades, statistically, 4 of them will be losers, which is totally fine. That's why I don't get upset when we have a losing trade. I just get out of it, close the position, and move on. And what really helps with that is when I have a smaller allocation to each trade, because then no one trade gives me really too much stress, because even if, some really bad thing happened, there was a flash crash or it got halted and I lose 18-20%, which definitely can happen, and it's happened once before on this challenge already, it won't really wipe out my account. I'll be totally fine. And that is the best way to start day trading, is just really allocate a small amount. Because when you start day trading, even when we started the $25,000 challenge and I was a little rusty with my stock trading, I made a lot of mistakes myself, and I've been trading for years beforehand. So you just want to make sure that you set yourself up for success by properly allocating your account. If you go in 100% on any one trade, it's only a matter of time till something really, really bad happens. All right, enough of that rant. Let's get to the trades. Okay, and I think we can do this pretty quickly. Where did I start off at? So I said SAEX was our first trade. So let's go ahead and move on to this one. And let's check out this bad boy. Whew, man, you know what? I was about to buy this in our IRA account and it's already up 9%. This would have been a cracker. And the reason I was looking at this one is it's a little off topic, but it was just, we were approaching this massive support zone on the daily and on the intraday. So 2.8 when it was holding, I was like, this is probably going to be a really nice trade. But, it's afternoon. It's past 12. I don't want to be trading, Eastern Standard Time past noon. So, finger off the trigger, but that was just a clean trade. SAEX, guys, this was looking perfect. 13 million market cap, 4.2 million shares outstanding. This is everything that we want to be trading. Pre-market, this thing was gapping really, really nice. It was about 70% up pre-market. And let's just quickly go on and see how this thing unfolded. And, it started right here where it really sold off kind of aggressively, about 6% down, big red volume here. But then, it started holding its highs in this area and was consolidating and forming a bit of a bull flag. And this is when I got really, really excited. On the 5-minute, it was still looking a little bit messy, but, $3.16, you can see here, there's a lot of bodies in this area. So clear support, clear resistance in this area. And I was waiting for a crack to the upside here. And then we eventually got it on this candle. I entered the trade. I forced my entry. I think you can see the whole thing in the live stream, so I won't talk about it too much here. Forced the entry, was looking good, waiting for a breakout past this area, past the former VWAP here at 3.3, where there's good resistance, but we just didn't really have a strong breakout. And when I noticed that a lot of sellers coming in, I just quickly got out of this trade, which is really, really good, because from the top here, and just 1 minute later, it goes down 11%. So this one we had to act really quick on. And this is why I get out of my trade so quickly when, it doesn't go my way right away, because you never know if it's going to be the one that just cracks on down and all of a sudden, you're in a hole. There's so many times where I get out too early, but you just never know. Knowing that breakout trades aren't my specialty, I'm going to be extra cautious. Not to mention the market was selling off a little bit, and I just didn't really want to be part of it. So I'm happy how this one played out. The next trade was TNXP. Where is that one? That one is right here. So this one, 13 million market cap, 8.5 million shares outstanding. Again, super, super nice. Exactly what we're looking for. I did want to be a little bit more careful on this one though, because I had a lot of warrants out about it. It was in some major resistance territory. I didn't really think that this thing was going to break higher today. I kind of called it out just because of those two things I said, just big resistance, a lot of warrants, and it was already kind of overextended. It definitely was overextended, about 40%, which doesn't sound that much, but for something with the amount of resistance on overhead, just check this out. This long-term chart is just super ugly, and I didn't really think it had it in it to move higher. Not to mention, it didn't have a lot of dollar volume. Now it's only at 25 million, and it never really, in the morning, it was just tiny. So there was one time I really wanted to trade this, and this is when it dipped down here, and I identified in the live stream 1.75 is going to be big support. You can see, we're near this major support line right here. We're pulling back to it. There's a good chance that we're going to bounce, and I should have got aggressive on it when that happened, because that was basically the one trade on this one that was more or less perfect. This thing ran up 10-11% after that. So this could have been a really good trade, but I was snoozing. I was watching, what were we watching? A different stock at the time, which is totally fine. A lot of risk here. I didn't really feel aggressive again when it was forming the bullish flag. It just was not a stock that was making me super excited. I did though go ahead and, I was waiting as we pulled back past the 1.75 and we were dipping lower. We had a pretty weak bounce here. It was only about a 3% bounce. And then I was waiting for a really big dip here. I was hoping it would go to like 1.5, but it didn't. And as the selling really died off here, I was watching, there was a big sell order. It was like at 171. So just imagine, let's say the 7 was like, I don't know, it was like 150, right? And then it was going from 150 to 140, 130, 120, I don't know, it was just getting chipped away really quickly. And I was like, it looks like there's a reversal here. So I bought into the ask. So I forced my entry, got into the position, and it was a really nice bounce to the upside. I probably should have took my profits right away, but I was looking for a bit bigger of a pull back to this big resistance area at 1.78. We did pull back though first, and I was negative on this trade for like 2 minutes, and that kind of sucked because I thought I had a really good entry. But then it ran back up here, and we got out for, what was that, a nice little 2.9% trade. It's kind of annoying because I had my limit order and I moved it up and I was looking for the 1.79 and the price even hit 1.79, but it wasn't enough volume and I didn't get executed, and then it pulled back kind of aggressively. It was like a 3% pullback, and I was like, oh my God, like I had like a perfect 5% trade and I didn't get executed. And then I got out on this pullback. So I definitely left a little bit of profits on the table. I left about like 1.5% on the table because it pulled back up and retested this area one more time before it really sold off the rest of the day. Whatever, I don't really mind too much. That was a really kind of classic support line bounce. And the last trade, NNVC, where's this bad boy hiding? Right here. This one hurt my soul a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. Let me back up the charts a little bit here, and let me show you guys what happened. So $240 million volume. That's what we want to see. This is the big runner of the day. 37 million market cap, 3.8 million shares outstanding. This thing just screams big mover. I was a little cautious with this one all morning. And the reason I was so cautious with this is because we had a big move up to the upside and completely got crushed after hours. And I didn't want to be part of something like that. So again, I was really cautious with this move. Here you can see that after hour crush. Look at this thing, just completely gets destroyed. It's kind of stair stepping on its way up, and I figured, okay, so we have one nice stair stepper here, we have another nice stair stepper here, and let me try to buy the breakout of this one. And everything was looking fairly smooth. I had a pretty nice entry, 8.95, and we were moving up pretty solid in this candle. And then we were, everything about this was kind of nice. I was up about 3% for a little bit. And I was like, okay, you know what? All I wanted today was 3%. I'm not even going to wait for a big breakout. I'm just going to close my position. Not to mention, it's a kind of a weak breakout. So I go and place my sell order, looking to take my $30 profit. And just right as I place my sell order, this thing rips down so fast. I was down like $80 for a second, which is huge because I only have a $1,000 position size. So I was down like 8%, probably even 9% for a little bit. And then it rips back up here, and I'm like, I'm so out of this one. I took a 3% loss, 3.13% loss. So we lost $30 on this trade. We could have easily ended today with $100 profit, but it just didn't happen, which is totally fine. Days like today totally happen. I'm not complaining. So we had 2 green trades and 1 red trade. So imagine I only had 1 trade today. I probably would have got totally spooked out with SAEX. I probably would have been like, I'm going to hold this because it's the only trade I can do today. And I probably would have had a loss on that trade. And that happened at the beginning of this challenge quite often. So, it's so important to take pressure off of your shoulders and reduce your risk by properly allocating your account. I think that's like the most important thing you can do as a new trader, because as a new trader and as an advanced trader, or expert trader, whatever you want to call it, or in a trader with a little bit of experience, there's one thing in common, and you're going to lose trades. Like it's totally fine to have losers. You just want to lower the amount of risk any one trade can do to your portfolio, because trading is like a marathon. Over the long run, you will be successful if you allocate your trades properly, if you have a decent winning strategy. I mean, we're not even blowing away anything with our numbers. 63% win ratio isn't too hot. I know I could probably get it past 65 but you don't see a lot of traders with, a winning ratio past 70. So you don't need great stats. You just need to have a system in place that over time, over the long run, you will be successful. And that's really, this $25,000 challenge is all geared towards, proving that percentage-wise we can do it, we can make everything happen. And then, in the future, we can do like $25,000 to $100,000. That's going to be a good, fun challenge. And I think that's probably what we'll do next. But, I haven't fully really thought it through yet. So yeah, guys, I hope you learned something from this video. Don't forget to leave a like if you found value in this content. Consider subscribing if you're new here and you want to learn more. Remember that one takeaway is just, reduce the risk, reduce the stress. And you can really do that systematically just by properly allocating your account. All right, guys, I hope you have a phenomenal weekend. I will see you then again on Monday. Till then, guys, like always, stay safe and make some awesome trades. Ciao, ciao.